Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Midday Live right here on TV3. We're coming to you live from our studios at Adesawe in Kanda, Accra. I am Della Michelle. Let's take a look at our headlines for this afternoon. Head of Catholic Bishops' Conference, Reverend Philip Nama, says textbooks wrongly portraying Ghana's cultural values are uncalled for and must be withdrawn. On the international front, this afternoon, Germany extends lockdown for 3 weeks, imposing an almost complete halt over the Easter holiday in response to the third wave of coronavirus infections. We are live on DSTV channel 279, also streaming live on Facebook. You can also interact with us on all our social media platforms, that is at TV3 Ghana. To a story that has caught so many attention, that is what has to do with textbooks. Now, the head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Reverend Philip Name, says the textbooks wrongly portraying Ghana's cultural values are uncalled for and must be withdrawn. Speaking to TV3, he said Ghana has come a long way and the strategy of every government must be to unite tribes and ethnic groups.
We should be talking about social cohesion of all Ghanaians as one family. So if a textbook is drawn up in a way that denigrates the dignity of a particular ethnic group, it is something not even worthy of a pre-independence situation of Ghana. We have come such a long way that no matter what ethnic group is, that we are growing together into one people. And that should be the strategy of every government. It should be the strategy of every government to wield the about 52 different ethnic groups into one people. So to draw up a textbook which seeks to, I would say, denigrate the dignity of one ethnic group, it's not worthy of the government at this time.
The three major teacher unions have served another notice to 10 working days to the buffer stock company to provide supplies to the schools or risk their wrath. Now, the National Buffer Stock Company says it is poised to meet the deadline to provide supplies to the schools. Both the teacher unions issued the warning after the engagement with the National Buffer Stock Company in Accra.
The meeting between the parties was held behind closed doors. In the meeting, the buffer stock company cited COVID as a major setback affecting the supplies. It again cited pricing the produce from providers, which affected the supplies to the schools. After deliberations, the unions agreed to the concerns of the buffer stock company and gave them 2 weeks to act swiftly.
We will start monitoring up to next week Friday to see whether or not what they've told us, they've done it or not. They've given us assurance that all things being equal, by next week Friday, the work will be done.
In the interest of the buffer stock, to make sure that food goes to the schools. Because if the food do not go to the schools and the students are in the schools, we all can imagine what will happen. So indeed, within the next 2 weeks, we hope and believe that everything will be done.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Buffer Stock Company, Henan Abdul Wahab, was confident the deadline will be met.
And you also bear me witness that there have not been a situation where schools have shut down because of lack of food ever since we started this free education. But prior to that, you could hear pockets of schools closing down as a result of lack of food and poor quality of food. We will not allow that to happen.
He also spoke about plans to provide enough supplies to offset any shortages in the schools.
We spoke to the teachers union, gave them our plans, what we have done and what we are doing to address the issue once and for all.
The technical advisor to the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Asante Krobia, indicated that government's planning for food and jobs will help in addressing the delays in the shortages.
Initially, Ghanaians generally and students even frown on local rice, but now they are patronizing it. And because of that, our local mills are being strengthened to be able to produce more local rice to feed the students.
More on education. Parents of the 2 Rastafarian students rejected admission by Achimota School have described the posture of the Ghana Education Service as deceptive following the school's rejection of its directive. After a meeting on Monday between the parents, Achimota School authorities and the Ghana Education Service, the Education Service went back on their directive for Achimota School to accept the students. The issue has generated debate across the country, with some criticizing the school, that is Achimota School, for infringing on the constitutional right to education of the students. This afternoon, we have been joined on phone by Professor Michael Nsoa. He is the former Director General of the Ghana Education Service and former Council Chair of GES. Prof, it's good to have you with us this afternoon. Let's pick your thoughts first on this. You have headed the GES, and recently you were with the Council as the Chair of GES. Do you support the stance of Achimota School in denying students who have met the entry grade admission?
Yeah, before I proceed, I'm not a professor, please. I'm Mr. Michael Nsoa. So
Mr. Michael Nsoa.
Yeah, if you made that correction for me. Yeah. The issue at Achimota is an issue of complying with the rules and regulations of the system. When the GES gives you the placement to be enrolled in the school, you need to report to the school and to be given your prospectus and the rules and regulations that are in book in the school. If you are satisfied with whatever is given you, then you will be properly enrolled or registered. Let me put it that you'll be registered. But if you don't accept the rules and regulations as pertains in the school, whichever school, then of course you will not be enrolled. So that is something that every school insists. You cannot be enrolled. You have been placed, yes. GS has placed you in the school. But unless you agree to abide by the rules and regulations of the school, you cannot be enrolled or registered. So that is it.
But this particular situation has brought a lot of debate, and currently on social media, you see people going way back to bring pictures of students who were in Achimota before, who had their hair on, be it Caucasians or Ghanaians. But going forward, what would you suggest that GES does in such a situation?
No, every school has its own traditions and philosophies, and that is something that it has been built over many years. And that is why schools regulations, especially schools and regulations, cannot be the same. They are not the same everywhere. Every school. You can compare Presec and Achimota, which are very close, but they have different philosophies and traditions. So that is something that parents to be aware of, so that when you apply to enroll your child in any school, you need to be familiar with the kinds of rules and regulations that pertains in those schools.
Right. Let's now look at the issues relating to the textbook. We know that there's this back and forth between NACA, GES, and of course publishers, that is in cancer, for the book that they wrote. But are you worried that we still do not have them, that is the approved textbooks by NACA, on shelves for parents to purchase them?
No, you see, for this issue, it's looking like there's no textbook on history of Ghana. It's not now that we are going to write a history of Ghana. That is there already. Yes, we know we are adapting parts for the primary, lower primary, and upper primary. That's what we're doing. So the references are already there. I think people are expecting that these are put together in one book. The work of the teacher is to use the resource pack given you, which gives you all the areas that the work that we are going to do, and the references. That is, if you need additional information, you don't repack the whole thing into a textbook, because that is not what. If you need any reference about the history of Ghana or the pupils of this nation called Ghana, they are already there. They're already there. So the pressure that was put on here to print book is neither here nor there, because the GS supported the teachers with resource packs, which contains all the information and the steps that we will need to follow in order to teach. All the teacher needs to do is, if he or she thinks he needs additional information, they should refer to the already published books in the system. So that, but for it to look like we haven't published the books for the children, as if, we are now going to write the history of Ghana. If anything, it's only the recent years that we'll be looking at as additional information on or additional literature on the history of Ghana. But nobody is, if anybody wants to write another history of Ghana, but the information is already there in many of the textbooks.
All right. We're grateful for your time this afternoon, Dr. Mr. Michael Insoa. He is the former Director General of the Ghana Education Service and the former Council Chair of the GES. Let's do other stories, as water is crucial for the survival of every being in the world. And as the world marks World Water Day, over 6 million people in Ghana still lack access to safe water. This has had negative implications for maternal and child health, learning, nutritional outcomes, productivity, and the general well-being of children and their families. There's more in the following report. According to Benjamin Franklin, when the well is dry, we learn the worth of water. However, many communities in Ghana have had to learn this the hard way, as they are yet to enjoy access to potable water. One of such communities is Tomefa. Located in the Gasouth municipality, Tomefa is home to some 1,000 residents. With mud structures as settlement, the main occupation here is fishing, with few residents venturing into farming and livestock. But just like most rural communities, Tomefa is bedeviled with lots of developmental challenges, the worst being lack of potable water for residents. This is the River Densu, serving as a source of water for the over 1,000 residents here at Tomefa. I wish I could get closer for you to see what really goes on, but one of the don'ts of the river is for people who are donned in black to get closer, hence the distance. Let's find out from the people of Tomefa how River Densu is being of help to them, and why for over 50 years now this community does not have even a tap to boast of.
We have never had water since we settled here. The River Densu is all we have.
Residents have had to devise means of storing water, especially during the raining season, by making reservoirs for homes that can afford. Vivian Alode has been living in this community for almost 12 years, and her children have suffered schistosomiasis, also known as bilharzia, a disease caused by parasitic flatworms called schistosomes, resulting in bloody stool or blood in the urine.
I have 5 children. All urinate blood except the eldest.
We sometimes itch after swimming in the river. Most children also urinate blood, something I suffered when I was young.
Marking World Water Day means little to these residents if government does not come to their aid by ending their water woes.
body omu share obo papa bia omu share omu ba eno ani say ombe kwan no eno ani say oba ombe ma pipe.
We have received promises from politicians who come here to campaign, but they are yet to deliver on their promises.
Ana ombe kan sem bibiri ba omu nye
mitibe abaya never na me pipe. We are appealing to the government to get us a tap.
But as the country also continues to battle with the COVID-19 pandemic, the frequent washing of hands with soap and the running water, as recommended by the World Health Organization, obviously is a challenge for these communities. Chairman for the Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation, Koniwas Yao Ata Ahin, is alarmed at the situation.
If you go to any community and you ask the people what their priorities are, they most likely will mention access to safe water as a topmost priority. Unfortunately, they have not been served with this very essential commodity. You are in a COVID situation and you are drinking contaminated water, then you compound the problem.
In November 2020, as the pandemic was still rife, Ghana received some $125 million to help fund about 120 kilometers of new water pipes and 10,000 new household connections, servicing some 300,000 people living in low-income communities. At the just-ended ministerial vetting, then Minister-designate for Water and Sanitation Cecilia Dapa said that Ghana is well secured when it comes to water.
God has given us this natural commodity, or very essential commodity. It's our duty to take care of it. We are secure, but we need to preserve it for the next generations.
However, the Executive Secretary for Water Resource Commission, Ben Ampoma, noted that though the statement made by the minister is valid, water is not entirely available to all.
Whether it's urban or whether it's rural, you have to match your investments with the increasing demands of water resources. When I talk about the investments, you can imagine what we need in order to develop our water resources to meet all competing uses. And that boils up to the issue of ensuring that we have money. It does not mean government hasn't done it.
The United Nations fears that water scarcity could displace some 700 million people by 2030, with global water demand likely to rise by over 50% by 2040. The Sustainable Development Goal 6 on water is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all by 2030, and Ghana seems to be on track. But Ben Ampoma called for more investment from government to help meet the demand of the growing population in order to attain the SDG Goal 6.
Of course, I do know that with the 6.1, which has to do with water supply, significant progress has been made. 2030, if we set our priorities right, we are able to, as it were, get the necessary, increase the necessary investments. We should be able to get to where we to achieve that particular target.
World Water Day is marked every year on March 22, with focus placed on the importance of fresh water and presses for the sustainable management of fresh water. Della Michelle, TV3 News, Accra. Well, let's just stay on water as we asking the question, how clean is the water flowing in your home? Is it clean enough to bathe or even drink? Well, Nana Ajiman Reku Brobe visited the Kolebu area to see how residents are dealing with the scarcity of water.
Water is the source of life. Those surrounded by it, many to this day still struggle to have access to clean, safe water. Today is World Water Day, and we have come to Kolebu to find out from the community what issues they are facing in accessing safe, clean water. World Water Day raises awareness for those living without sustainable access to clean, safe water. Even though the Kolebu community is at the heart of Accra, residents highlighted issues associated with water provided by the Ghana Water Company.
There's a lot of particles in the water. It doesn't give you a clear. Mostly, sometimes when you open, you see different color. The normal color of water is not what you see. It gives a different colors. And I don't know if they added some sobolo or other things to it. You get it. So they need to change. But what they know best is they always bring your bills, you know. And that's what we are not looking for that. We are looking for clean water.
Rosemary, a resident and business owner, lamented over the poor water quality.
At times, but
the water is dirty. Sometimes it's clean, but usually by the afternoon it's dirty. You can often see small insects in the water. We have to collect water and let it settle before we can separate the clean water from the dirt and use it.
But are the right people aware of these issues? And what is being done? Public Relations Manager of the Ghana Water Company is Stanley Mate.
Quality of water that leaves our treatment plants meets the best of standards, comparable to world standards. Now, some of these things are bound to happen, okay, and we accept that they are bound to happen. But the thing is, it may not be coming from our treatment plant. It may be locally based. So what we expect is that customers will fetch, let's say, a liter or a gallon, and then let us have it, report to us, and then we'll come into the area, we'll first of all do the analysis of the water. Then we'll be able to ascertain what is causing that.
In light of World Water Day, he discussed the achievements and hurdles in providing easily accessible, safe water for the country.
Every Ghanaian has access to water, except for proximity. So then what we are doing is that we are expanding most of our treatment plants and building new treatment plants, and because that is the only way that we can meet the demands of the people. Okay, and there are people who do not have easy access, you understand, because they may have to walk a bit more distance before they have. Accra is good, most of the regions are good, the urban areas are good, it's the rural areas where the access is quite a challenge.
On this World Water Day, with the theme of valuing water, one can only hope that the quality and accessibility of this commodity in our nation continues to improve. Nana Ajimai Rekomprobe, TV3, Accra.
From World Water Day, let's look at World Meteorological Day, as today, March 23, marks the day, and it is a day that commemorates the coming into force on the 23 March 1950 of convention establishing the World Meteorological Organization. It showcases the essential contribution of national meteorological and hydrological services to the safety and well-being of society, and is celebrated with activities around the world. The theme chosen for World Meteor Day reflects tropical weather, climate, or water-related issues. World Meteor Day 2021 is the theme, the ocean, our climate and weather. The ocean is a major driver of the world's weather and climate, as well as the global economy, carrying more than 90% of world trade and sustaining the 40% of humanity in lives within 100 kilometers of the coast. The ocean also plays a central role in climate change. Today, the growing impact of climate change is making oceans observations, research and services more critical than ever before. Let's engage Theophilus Papani-Klerch. He is the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Meteorological Agency. It's good to have you with us this afternoon on such an important day. Let's find out how crucial is the work of the meteorologists, even as we have apps on phones which can tell us about the weather.
Yeah, good afternoon, and good afternoon to your listeners. Let me say that meteorology, which is termed as the science of the atmosphere, is very important in our nation's development. As we deal with aeronautical meteorology and then surface observation, as well as prediction of weather elements that may pose threats to the livelihood of people.
Right. So for us, let's see how important it is, that is the ocean, to climate, especially as we have 4 regions bordering the sea, some facing the sea erosion.
Yeah, especially if you look at the surface runoff, that is how water washes the soil surface. When you get to the sea, because of anthropogenic activities, because these days we do not keep the sea or the ocean clean by throwing rubbish around and then inside the sea, by defecating into the sea. When we have heavy rainfall, because we do not have any protection around the sea, it causes an erosion. So the advice here is that we should be able to create a dike around the sea so that the soil surface around the sea will not be washed away.
Now, there are concerns by some Ghanaians that Ghana Meteo, for instance, has more likely been reactive than proactive in terms of giving us the weather forecast for the day. Usually, the announcements will come when we see changes in the weather. How do you respond to such comments from the public?
Yeah, I don't think it is the truth, because what we have been doing in recent time is to give out our weather information 3 times in a day. We give it out at 05 in the morning, we give it out at 11 a.m., and then we give an update at 1700, which is 5 p.m. every day. And then when there is any approaching storm, we come up with our weather warning, alerting the public what to do. You know, if you look at the factors that helps in burden, in cloud build up, you can't just come out and then give a prediction. You should be able to study the system and make sure that the system will reach the zone before you come out giving the forecast. So this also contributes to some delay in us giving out. But these days, we've made it very possible that we will give out a warning within 3 hours before the onset of the storm.
We've been experiencing some rainfalls the past few weeks. What should we expect in the coming months?
Yeah, when we give out our wet seasonal forecast at the end of February, we did state that for Ghana in 2021, the rain pattern will not change from what we had in 2020. Either we will have a little lower than what we had in 2020, or it will be equal to what we had in 2020. So for the southern sector of the country, if I say the southern sector, then I mean from Aflao, Adan, Tema, Accra. And then for the west coast, that is Sopon, Cape Coast, Takrade, Azim, Takwa. And then the inland areas, Techiman, Sunyane, Kintampo, Bono, right down to the eastern portion, that is Kufuridia, Swedru, Akimodan, the rain has started. And you know, for the rain pattern, when we're considering the southern sector, we have 2 raining seasons within a year. We have the major and then we have the minor. The major starts in March and then it will end in July. And then the minor will start from September and then it will end in November. But for the northern portions of the country, they have only 1 season. So the rain will start from May and then it will end in October. Right. So as I speak now, the rain has started.
Okay. We're grateful for your time this afternoon. You heard Thomas Clegg. He is the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana Meteorological Agency. We're going for a quick break. When we come back, there's more news on Midday Live. To stay with us.
Tutu ana ibubu nuya o house rate traffic say the luxury for the product for Bajama so amount for 2 aguso a friend the luxury super fix tile cement the niamani akadi ayaka bomb dia tile cement no e mani ye correct keke now the boy adwuma ejina ye mani ye fepa the luxury super fix tile cement eye super eye dutwam kura said the na bebozo embubu ana entutu da The Luxy Super Fix Tile Cement. Bond better. The Luxy Super Fix Tile Cement. Bond better.
Coming to Ghana this March, Evans Opong Ministries presents Knowledge Revolution. Guest speakers, Dr. Jewel Taylor, the current Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Apostle General Sam Karanchi, Ankara of Royal House Chapel, host Dr. Evans Opong, the City of Faith Ministry, London, UK, music ministration by M.O.G., Sam Genius, Effie Grace. This life-changing event will be happening from the 26th to the 27th of March 2021. Time, 6:30 p.m. each night. Venue, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Accra, Ghana. For more information, contact us on 0247 484 912. This event is free.
The completion of your beautifully designed house and costly project is worth celebrating. But wait a minute, your tiles seem to be popping out. Redoing poor tiling can be 3 times more expensive. Your beautiful quality tiles deserve quality tile adhesive to hold them in place and not just cement. At Weber, we provide you with the complete tiling solutions and grouts. Use Webercol, the globally accepted tile adhesive for all your tiling works. Webercol is CE certified, produced locally by Saint Gobain with over 350 years in the construction industry. Tile right and tile once with Webercol. For bulk purchases and distribution, call 0540-123-533.
Weber, we care. The COVID-19 pandemic came with unavoidable global economic consequences.
Some of this we've seen already happen in the past 2 quarters.
In 2020, the government of Ghana saw a sharp decline in revenue into a yawning budget deficit.
I think it's really an incredibly pandemic period.
And now the debt stock is ballooning, revenue is declining, and expenditure surging.
We think that there is a recovery. The recovery is in progress, but we do have some downside risks.
What does the economic recovery path look like in the short and medium term? Is there hope?
They say, Abane say, hotel for any restaurant for. They say, nipa entina restaurant be oba no agena oko. But EPF also
Media General presents the 4th Economic Dialogue Series on the theme Ghana's Recovery Path in 2021, balancing fiscal consolidation with growth policies.
No one country can feel safe until every country has taken precautions to vaccinate its population.
Speakers, Razia Khan, Head of Research, Africa and Middle East at Standard Chartered, Wemkele Mene, Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, Bright Simmons, Vice President of Imani Africa, Seth Tekpe, former Finance Minister, Professor Peter Kwoti, Director at ISE. It's happening live on Thursday, 1st April 2021 at 9 a.m. So join us on TV3, 3FM 92.7 and on 3news.com. Remember, it's on Thursday, 1st April 2021 at 9 a.m. sharp. Media General 4th Economic Dialogue Series, making economic sense of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching Midday Live. I am Delam Shell. Let's do more stories. 2 panelists on TV3 New Day say Ghana has not shown commitment on the fight against the Galamsey menace and that the country may soon be importing water for public consumption.
After all the investment we have made in the fight against Galamsey, the quality of the water is not changing. Are we serious in fighting this canker?
Water is also a security issue. I remember our sisters used to walk miles to either Dalong or some other parts around the Tamale environs to fetch water, and the water was completely green. So the question is, years on, what do we have to boast about? What successes have we chalked so far as the water situation is concerned? I think some successes have been chalked, but there's no room for complacency. There's still a lot more work that has to be done. There are so many communities across the length and breadth of the country that haven't seen potable water, that haven't seen water other than green water or yellow water. for years on end. To be able to deal with the water crisis, we need to deal with the environmental issues that results in water becoming not so potable. Johnny, what you see is different from what happens on the ground. And you would appreciate it better if you get to the ground. I mean, there were instances where people have their excavators seized, and the next minute they have their excavators back on the site. You have instances where people under very funny circumstance, okay, who are degrading the environment, have some papers, and you wonder where it comes from.
Authorization.
You know, exactly. So you see, the whole thing has been, and on us, I mean, in his documentary, his investigative piece, we all saw what happened. What happened to the gentleman, the main gentleman in question? The next minute, he was on official, trips outside of the country at the expense of the taxpayer. Aisha Wan was arrested. Next minute, you find her elsewhere. So I think that the whole thing, to a very large extent, was a charade. There was no commitment. If there were commitments, okay, respect for the laws, okay, nip in the bud the culture of impunity, I think we would have been way ahead with the fight against Galamsey.
In Ghana, study shows that we have 3 million people who live in areas that lack potable water. And Accra is part of them, because you just drive beyond Abokobi to one of the villages deep there. You realize that we have people in Ghana who drink water which is yellowish. Climate change is eroding the gains over the years. We are not sustaining the natural gifts that has been given to us by God to sustain our environment. People don't even know the relevance of trees around us. People don't need the natural resources we need to sustain our lives. And we are just heading into the days where we'll get. I pray we don't get to the experience.
Are we not already on that path?
I pray we don't get to the stage where we have to even import water.
Are we not already on that path?
I pray we don't get there. Israel today recycles about 98% of their water. So you have one water cycle going round. What investment have we made? When it rains in Israel, it is good news. When it rains in Ghana.
Paramount Chief of Lower Diskov in the Ahanta West Municipality in the Western region has insisted the area will not descend into anarchy. Nanakwesi Ajiman has meanwhile condemned instances where macho men are used to intimidate and harm law-abiding citizens under the orders of certain faceless leaders.
Calm has returned to the twin paramountcies of Upper and Lower Diskov following last week's assault on a sub-chief and some royal members of Upper Diskov. This is in spite of the fact that the Western Region Police Command is yet to make any arrest. Paramount Chief of Upper Diskov, Obrimpong Himadechi, in an earlier press conference, had called on President Akufo-Addo to intervene. Addressing a press conference on the 14th of March 2021 assault, Paramount Chief of Lower Diskov, Nanakwesi Ajiman, stressed that the people of Diskov are law-abiding and entreated them to continue to remain calm regardless of the level of provocation.
Diskov, as a community, is far greater than anyone's inhabitants' parochial interests. As the Omahini of Lower Diskov traditional area and inhabitant of Diskov, and of course a law-abiding citizen of Ghana, I wish to strongly condemn the barbaric violence of using macho men to intimidate and harm other people.
Responding to claims by Upper Diskov Paramount Chief Obrimpong Himadechi in his March 16th press conference, Nanajiman insisted that it is a twist in historical fact for anyone to say that Lower Diskov was under Upper Diskov.
Upper Diskov and Lower Diskov both attained their respective paramountcy on the same day in June 1912 under the former Secretary of Native Affairs, Sir Francis Crotter.
Nana Kwesi Agyemang explained that the Turum land issue is before the Judicial Committee of the Western Region House of Chiefs and was expecting all concerned parties to have waited for the outcome.
It's now time for some business news. The Civil and Local Government Staff Association says it has received 150 petitions from retirees who say they have just been paid 8,000 cedis after over 35 years in service. One of the retirees who led the petition says he was allegedly forced by SNIT to sign a declaration form before his benefits will be processed for him. Meanwhile, CLOSAC has given NPRA 2 weeks to stop SNIT from asking retirees to sign a declaration form.
According to the retiree Michael Setti, he had worked for 39 years in the civil service and retired in January this year. He narrated how he went to SNIT to get his benefits processed, but was asked to sign a declaration form which requires that when his benefits are paid to him, he will not be entitled to any package again. Michael Setti said he refused to sign the declaration form.
The man over there said if you refuse to sign this letter, you are not going to get your benefit until you sign this document. Not me alone. Maybe the person is cheating them, not me alone. They are cheating all the distance.
According to him, SNIT is to process a lump sum of 8,000 cedis after 39 years in active service.
The total past credit as at the quarter 4 of 2020 is 8,664. The second is 24,000 for 11 years.
He again indicated that his other retired colleagues received 7,000 cedis as a lump sum past credit for over 40 years of work.
He has 7,000, 40 years. Then John Asima, that's 7,000, 34 years. Then PV Beru, 8,000. He retired in June last year.
The Executive Secretary of CLOSAC, Isaac Bampo-Addo, received the petition and pleaded with the retirees not to sign any declaration form.
If 11 years is equal to 24,000, therefore 28 years should be equal to what? Let's all do the calculation. And you are giving 28 years, you are giving 8,000.
He has petitioned the NPRA to within 2 weeks ask SNIT to stop the exercise.
Look at all these issues, and I think the best language in such a situation is for us to show them the union power.
That's all we have for you for business, but there's more business news on 3news.com. We're going for a quick break. When we come back, the sports news. To stay with us.
Hey, Papa, no. Hey, why is your friend at all?
I was at the bar with my friend Ato. We are betting the game and tensions were high. Now to say Charlie we could lose, so then I said same day. I won 15,000. Then I just said wait, we bet the same amount. How come I only got 9,000? Now I asked, yo, you didn't bet to Bet Planet?
Wait, he didn't bet to Bet Planet?
I didn't bet to Bet Planet. Then the bartender said, Ato, you suck, oh, sharp. I go take all my money. Then I just said, all your money? That was quick, oh. It's betting people say come for yours tomorrow. We went the next day and they said come for the rest tomorrow.
For the best odds, biggest wins, and fastest payouts, choose Bet Planet.
So Ato, where you dey?
I still dey queue inside.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below the age of 18.
Impressor oil na capsules kura awode nura eboa eyi yawa enam sasabro usisi wachiri bremo ne afi waposo nyina afiri ni padua no mu. Impressor capsules kura ahode a etumi boa esiesie no mpa eho akokwa ne ntokru de damu ene afi waposo gregira awewe no nyina esiesie no ema no ahode mfoforo kura wope edura obetumi de wo ho atoso na ayi wo honamu yawo nyina de a ene impressor ne edura wona owo yefunu yade mpo etumi no mbie se onom impressor capsules now the impressor oil twitwi bia eye wo ya no a ene ne wato adi ya wo bedwane entem so kra ope impressor capsule ne oil bia to a ko pharmacy licensed chemical shop ana herbal shop a eben wo etufo mfre Iona Pharmacy Limited. Our 0553 134 185 and now 0243 123 224. Impressor Yao Big Johnny. FDA Ajwadi Nkrato yi mu agye atomu se.
Midday Fortigrowth contains essential nutrients to help your child, body and mind ready for school.
I know he's ready because the love I give him grows with him.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved.
Are you Ghana's best cyclist? Can you ride around Ghana on a bike? If you're a professional cyclist, then the time has come for you to show your skills. It's time for the first edition of 3FM's Tour to Ghana. On Saturday, 24th April, Ghana's best cyclists will ride from Tema to Akosombo. Are you ready? With 10,000 Ghana cedis and other amazing products to be won. You certainly want to be a part of the most exciting cycling competition in Ghana yet. If you believe you have what it takes to win, call or WhatsApp us on 0550-052-927 to register for a cool 150 Ghana cedis, or you can enjoy our early bird discount if you register before 31st March for just 100 Ghana cedis. Special rates are available for groups with 5 or more team members. Amateurs can register to participate too. Let's cycle up to Akosombo and enjoy a cozy drive back to Tema on Saturday 24th April. 3FM Tour to Ghana. Win together. Hashtag 3FM Tour to Ghana.
I swear I'll make it big in Canada. You know why? To give you and our family the life that we deserve.
Canada, here I come!
Escort this lady.
We have no recourse but to deport you back to the Philippines.
How dare you do this to me? You're a traitor! How does it feel to be betrayed, Audrey?
In a world filled with bitterness.
Miss! Get away from me, I don't need anybody's help!
Please just talk to me.
Help! Hey!
She will find hope in love.
I can offer you a job in my clinic.
Catherine, you better learn how to love your husband. You're just suffering because of this.
I tried, but it's really difficult to find any reason to like him or feel anything for him. Sir, you have the right to know the truth.
I really thought she was a perfect wife, the perfect mother of my children.
In a world full of lies.
I'm sorry, sir, that flight has left.
Love will be their only truth.
The company is deep in debt, and we have to give it up.
Their bleeding hearts will find another chance to beat. She will make him feel the love he never felt.
No, I don't like you! Do you think I don't know about it? You're here because you want to replace our mommy!
But will her love be enough to fill the void in his life?
You better leave my clinic now.
I should have fired you had I known you were going to steal my husband from me.
You're a good-for-nothing wife!
And you're a great homewrecker. Stop this wedding!
Who has the right to have?
A Place in Your Heart premieres on Tuesday, 23rd March at 6 p.m. and shows Tuesdays to Fridays at 6 p.m. only on TV3.
Italy, and then there's Hamza Mohamed, who was also incredible in the run when Ghana was getting into the 2006 World Cup. So they've had some very prominent players, and so I just thought it was right that we do something to document the success and greatness of the city.
Absolutely. And let's look at also how different training is like for these footballers in the northern part of the region comparing to what the trainers here or the footballers in the southern part go through?
Yeah, so I think comparatively, there's a stark difference between how football is played there and how football is played here. Looking at the conditions, I mean, and the pitches are not in good state. The only thing they have now is the Tamale Sports Stadium, which is in incredible shape at the moment. It's not incredible shape, but it's something that they can hold on to as a pride of football that they have. But the other pitches, the training pitches, for example, a team like Tamale City Football Club, they train at the Tamale Secondary School pitch, which is not good enough.
Not good.
And then other pitches close to the Aliyu Mahama Stadium, which are also not in good shape. So hopefully this documentary will just cast a light on it, and then something can be done about it.
Talking about casting the light, well, let's give you a teaser of what is going to happen tonight on The Assignment at 9:30 p.m. right here on TV3. Take a look.
Football in Tamale is huge. It is a religion. From Abedi to Gago, Hamza Mohammed to Sheila Ilyasu. The names are many and big. As part of our Ghana Month series, we take you on a journey to Tamale, where we tell the story of its biggest club, Real Tamale United, and how other fledgling clubs, Tamale City Football Club and Steadfast Football Club, are nurturing young players to develop the country's talent pool.
Whatever we were doing on the field was executed at training, and was a gift from God.
Abbas, come. We did our part, but unfortunately, there was too much in politics in the team.
This stadium was built because IPU had been in the system for long.
Here, they don't allow women to be taking part in any sporting activity. Those days, they will say, oh, any sporting activity, they will say you will not give birth.
Tamale, a football city, premieres on TV3 on Tuesday, 23rd March 2021, and repeats on Thursday, 24th March at 9:30 p.m. on TV3. TV3 Ghana on Facebook and also on 3news.com.
Well, you don't want to miss that remarkable story by Yao Fusila. But I know he has more updates, so go ahead, Yao.
Well, thank you very much, Della. And straight to the sports news this afternoon here on Midday Live on TV3. And the Black Stars will depart Accra for Johannesburg later today for March Day 5 of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against South Africa. Now, Baba Abdurrahman, Mohamed Kudus, Osman Bukari, Nicholas Opoku, and Emmanuel Lomote, as well as Kwesi Ochireit, will team up with the rest of the squad later on. Orlando Pirates goalkeeper Richard Ofori will also join his colleagues in Johannesburg when the team arrives. Now, Captain Andre Ayew and forward Jordan Ayew and midfielder Thomas Partey, who will not be part of the contingent to South Africa, will join the squad later for the final game against Sao Tome and Principe. Ghana will play South Africa on Thursday, March 25 in Johannesburg before hosting Sao Tome in Accra subsequently. Ghana will hope to seal off another AFCON qualification after the two games are honoured on Thursday and Sunday respectively. And on some more stories, I'm still staying with the Ghana-South Africa game. And Bafana skipper Tulani Haslawayo says despite the tough encounter on their hands, they are willing to give it their all against the Black Stars.
We obviously know how important these two games are, especially playing at home, starting at home, playing against Ghana, whom we lost in the first round. And like I said, it's very important for us to get a result because we don't want to have the same situation as the last time we qualified for AFCON 2019, where we had to leave it to the end against a Libya team. For us is to make sure that we get a full result and go to Sudan knowing very well that we'll qualify.
Well, that ends the sports news this afternoon here on Midday Live on TV3. My name is Yao. Ufusula Entertainment News is up next.
Welcome to the Entertainment News segment. I'm Anita Ekia Kufu. Now, 21-year-old Gigi Monyo from Zimbabwe is the winner of 2021 Miss Pan-Africa Beauty Pageant. She beat competition from two other poised finalists across Africa to emerge queen.
I told you, if you didn't get my money, you shouldn't come back to this house. But I need to be at the hospital now.
The Gold Coast restaurants in Accra played host
to the 4th annual Miss Pan-Africa Beauty Pageant held in Ghana for the first time. 11 poised beauties selected from across the African continent were assembled on the runway to go head-to-head for the ultimate. Contestants did not disappoint as they put out a good show on the night.
So beautiful. Africa has got it all to give to the world.
After 3 open rounds of the competition, 21-year-old Gigi Monyo from Zimbabwe was crowned winner for the 2021 Miss Pan-African Beauty Pageant.
And the winner is Zimbabwe!
Honestly speaking, we all did well, and I'm very surprised that I took crown. Thank you to my fellow contestants for always encouraging me. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to start back home in my country to teach them on Pan-Africanism and to be filling up space and to make sure the girl child to not be afraid, that they should take up their goal and to achieve it and work on it.
The event seeks to empower the African girl child to become change makers on the continent.
We were looking out for that African queen, that African material, that girl who was ready to project Africa to the world, that girl who has humanity at heart, that girl who is ready to sacrifice and serve.
Congratulations, Zimbabwe!
Now, Ghanaian vocal powerhouse Ms. V has joined a host of other A-list African musicians on BBC One Extra's highly acclaimed Africa 360 playlist. Her balanced song featuring Sarkodie joins songs from Grammy Award-winning Wizkid and Burna Boy, Davido, Tiwa Savage, Sauti Sol, amongst others. The playlist contains specially curated content celebrating African music and culture. Africa 360 will guarantee a destination for good vibes, fun, and high energy with exclusive live performances, special interviews, artist takeovers, and brand new mixes. Congratulations going out to Ms. V. Up next is international news. Good afternoon.
And on international fronts this afternoon, Germany has extended its lockdown for 3 weeks, imposing an almost complete halt over Easter holiday in response to a third wave of coronavirus infections. After talks with regional leaders, Chancellor Angela Merkel said current measures would remain until April 18. Restrictions will be even tougher from 1st to the 5th of April, when most shops will be shut and gatherings will be limited. The infection rate has risen above 100 per 100,000 inhabitants in Germany. A further 7,485 infections have been reported in the past 24 hours, as well as 250 deaths. Merkel said Germany was now in a very serious situation. Coronavirus infections have been surging across Europe in recent weeks as countries scramble to vaccinate their people despite delays in rolling out jobs. And that's all the news we have for you this afternoon. Do log on to 3news.com for more news. I am Della Michelle. Thank you for your company this afternoon. Of course, keep enjoying our programs right here on TV3.